there really is something to be said about watching your story come to life and that entire process that goes into writing the story and developing the idea and making sure it all makes sense, and then watching that idea become a reality in the sense of film. I know I've mentioned it a couple times. I have been working all semester on a short film that is very, very personal to me. It is based on something that happened to me and that I have personally experienced. For those of you who've already seen it because you're in my class and you're watching this now, yeah, that stuff that you saw, that is a reality for me, or was at one point in time in my life. And I hope to be able to upload that soon. But as of right now I don't have it, so I can't do that. But I just wanted to reflect a little bit on that experience because it was definitely a new one and one that I will definitely cherish. The writing process, I came up with a concept, and that concept is to personify depression. That is something that I have struggled with, and it mostly stemmed from the lies that I believed about myself. So I had this idea because it was based on something that happened. I had this really awesome friend who decided that I was worth it and wanted to help me. He helped me see the other side of the tunnel because it always seemed like I was just trapped, which is where the entire concept of I was trapped inside this constricting thing, and he helped me see the light at the end of the tunnel, as cliche as that sounds. Like, I had help from the other members of my group in developing the idea, specifically shucking it down to exactly what we wanted from the first second to the last second, because we were aiming to be about 10 minutes long. Watching that story come to life, like, I spent maybe about 5 hours writing it, just making sure that the details were right and that the dialogue fit. We had a table read with our two actors, whom the person who acted as the director of the film picked himself, and I am so happy that he picked those two people because they did justice, and actually probably did better than justice, to these two characters that I had spent time with and creating and getting to know. Like, the weekend of that week that we had the table read, we went straight into filming. We were in the very dark halls of one of the academic buildings here on campus, and it's really, really scary when all the lights are shut off. But it fit what we were wanting, especially with the way that we tried to hide the fact that you're in an academic building. For me, it was really cool because it was a beautiful process watching this story come to life, my story come to life. Saw the rough cut. It hit me in certain places that I hope it would hit the audience. I honestly don't know if it hit the audience that way. No one that watched the rough cut said really that it hit them. Watching the final cut, there were definitely differences from the rough cut because we had to do some final dialogue and stuff, which, because this is personal for me, I was one of the voices that you could just kind of hear in the background. And you'll see what I mean when you actually watch the film. Actually saying those lies that I personally have believed, it was almost like things were coming complete circle, because yet I'm not saying that I don't believe any of them at all, but I'm closer to being 100% okay with myself as a person. I just wanted my story to be heard. And sometimes hearing a story, whether it's real or fictional, can help somebody else know that they're not alone and that there's a chance. Storytelling is an art, and it's an art to help people understand certain things. It's also an art that basically tells you you're not alone, you're not crazy, and life does get better. But one of the biggest things that I probably learned throughout this process is how to separate myself from the story. Because when we initially showed the rough cut, there were some things that were said about it, and it hit me hard a little bit, but I was already kind of in a vulnerable state because it is based on a personal experience. But hearing people, hearing some of their feedback when we watched the final cut, it was easier to accept and easier to understand, because I had a chance to really, you know, be like, okay, you can't take this personally. This is not you. Like, it's a reflection of you, yes, but it's not you. You have to be able to separate yourself from your story. That's just a reflection on that, and I hope that you'll go check it out. There will be a link to it once it's uploaded, and it'll probably be around this box here. And yeah, I will see y'all next time I make a video. Bye.